I believe you're muted, Debbie.
Thanks, Jerry. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first coffee break, your online virtual coffee break. And I am wanting to make sure, it looks like there's no volume. So I'm going to make sure that it's working, and then we'll get started in a few minutes. Thanks, Jerry. All right. All right, it looks like it's working. So we are live. And let me go ahead and switch over. So we want to welcome everyone. And it looks like we have a few people on, and there might be some more joining us as well. We just wanted to spend a few minutes just sharing about what's going on in the city and how we can help support each other and some of the updated information in the city. My name is Deborah Stout. I'm the Executive Director of the Fullerton Collaborative, and this is our Next Gen Coffee Break. So as we are getting started, I go ahead and let's just share a little bit about each one of us. We'll go around. The first question that I had presented to the group included what are some of the things that is currently going on in your organization? So if you could just, for those that are wanting to share, maybe you could raise your hand or you could put it in the chat, or if you have a time constraint, if you could just let me know as well in the chat so that we can make sure that we are accommodating those needs as well. And I know that some people are joining us just to watch because they do want to just also share that information. So Leanna, do you mind go ahead and starting first?
Hi, good morning, everybody. So I was really looking forward to seeing people this morning. I've been having kind of a downer week, so I was really looking forward to today. I know everybody from working with our parents and our students and so many people in the community are feeling that like up and down with all of this. And I think so just to backtrack a little bit, what we've had to do is we closed operations pretty much the day that the governor changed it to 250. I mean, it happened pretty fast for us within like days. We were going to try to offer private lessons only, but by the time, what was that, like St. Patrick's Day, when they issued the stay-at-home order, then we closed down any kind of in-person operations at our site at all. and spent the next 2 weeks reformatting our programming completely to online programming. We've been able to maintain over half of our students, which I'm super happy about. Today's kind of a telltale because they're going into May 1st, another cycle of billing, another cycle of commitment. Like, are they going to stay on for another month? Are we going to keep the ones that we have right now? We canceled all of our shows, but we were able to put money back into the pockets of a lot of our clients because we canceled all of our shows and canceled the costumes, and we're able to return costumes. So we were very aggressive about getting money back to our clients as quickly as possible, and giving them the opportunity to even ask for a refund. And we issued thousands of dollars of refunds to our clients. It was hard, but we knew we were doing what was best. They didn't need a costume right now. They needed money to feed their family, and some of them were in that situation. So we just wanted to do whatever was best for each family circumstance. Some families are not financially impacted and they need this programming every single day. So, the parents have a chance to just work. Some of these parents, they're saying they're getting more work done while their kids are in our Zoom classes every day than they are during the day. So, we've had to adjust to the needs of the spectrum of clients right now. People that are completely impacted financially, that are stressed out, worried about housing and food and shelter, and ones that are not financially impacted, but, need like the well-being of their household just support. So we focus now really into addressing the mental health of our students and the physical fitness of our students. That's kind of what our model has changed into, is like, how are we something that these children can look forward to every day, an escape from their home, an escape from their parents. Likely I'm offering like free fitness classes for the parents, an escape for the parents, physical fitness for the parents, the stress relief for the parents. So our business model has completely changed. A lot of this we did before, but it's just, we're not focused so much on the like giving the kids a grade after class. It's like, did you show up? Did you show up to class today? You know what I mean? Like, so our like level of expectation level has lowered, and just trying to be there for the kids as much as possible. So that's like the heart side of the business. And then I have the whole other financial side of the business and keeping my employees employed. And we've been able to do that with this, not making as much as they were, but still being able to have them at least earn something to get through right now. So, and dealing with all the like SBA stuff and staying on top of that. So it's kind of like I'm doing like, worried about all these different parts, as an employer, community member employers of Fullerton. Like, so many of my teachers go to Cal State Fullerton, go to Fullerton College, live in Fullerton, and it's like this community I'm trying to keep together virtually almost, and it's working. It's exhausting, but it's working.
Excellent.
I'm literally on Zoom from no matter what, minimum 6 hours a day.
Yeah. Absolutely. So remind, I know that many of us probably know your organization. I don't know if those that are watching on Facebook, what is your
I'm sorry. I should have said that. Sorry. I own co-owner and operator of CF Dance Academy in downtown Fullerton. We service 600. Right before this happened, we were at 600 students. So that's the amount of families, and that doesn't even count like our programs with the Fullerton Community Center and all of our outreach programs and Next Gen that we're connected to. So just really take our place in Fullerton very seriously, how we can support the other businesses, the other nonprofits with all of this. So, yeah.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. Leanna, we'll come back to you to see about any ways that we can help support your organization and where they can go. Melissa, I see that you're on. Do you want to share an update from your...
Sure. Hi, good morning, everyone. Melissa Serrato here. I'm the marketing and outreach assistant over at Fullerton College. And so we have transitioned all of our students to remote learning as of March 22nd, I believe it was, March 20. I think I'm confusing the dates. It all feels like it's been a
Okay.
year within a month.
Exactly.
So pretty quickly after we were put on our stay-at-home orders, we transitioned a lot of our classes online. Right now we're offering students food on Thursdays and Fridays for food pickup. We are also, speaking to this particular population. I know we are working a lot with our youth. So right now, what our outreach offices are doing is they are providing remote services as well. So like virtual appointments with our high school partnerships. And then also in the next coming weeks, we have some family webinars that are going to be taking place for high school seniors that are going to be transitioning to the college over the summer and in the fall. So those are going to be, there's 4 different ones, and 2 of them are dedicated specifically, one for Anaheim Union students and then the other one for Fullerton Joint Union high school seniors. So those dates are going to be posted actually later today, but I can give you the dates here. Our 4 dates for those are for Anaheim, it's going to be May 7th from 7 to 8 p.m. There's also going to be one in Spanish on May 12th from 7 to 8 p.m. And then our Fullerton Joint Union High School District webinar is going to be May 13th from 7 to 8 p.m. And then any other student who is interested in coming to Fullerton College and would like help and information about our 2 years tuition program for free, that webinar is going to be held May 14th from 7 to 8 p.m. So we are still trying to get our students transitioned as successfully as we can, and providing the resources that we can virtually through our admissions office, counseling, financial aid. Everything is pretty much remote. So you can find a lot of that information on our website in terms of how to get connected with those services.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Melissa. I appreciate that. I believe the iPhone we have, is that Kevin? Are you joining us? All right. I don't know who that is. So we'll go ahead and move over to, I think we have.
Hi, Deborah. It's me, Maribel from St. Philip Benici.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Thank you for joining us today. Did you want to share an update at all from your organization that you're?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Well, it's going to be a busy weekend. This Saturday, we have the food distribution that is being set up for between 10 to 2. And I don't have the details. It seems like it has been a little bit of confusion because the flyer that they sent out, it says to register prior to, but there's no number. So it has created a little bit of confusion, but I don't have the details exactly on the only thing for sure that I know is that they will be distributing food between 10 to 2 at St. Philip's.
Sorry about that.
And the other thing is that on Sunday, we will be distributing information regarding the rent moratorium. I sent you a little flyer. It is in Spanish. We distribute that with the Hispanic community. And I will send you an English version. Basically, it is just the information that is posted on the Fullerton website for those who have trouble paying the rent this month. And so they can have that information and talk to the landlords since it's the end of the month. And that is what we are currently doing.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that update. Excellent. So I see Al, you're on, and then after that, we'll have Beverly do an update from Crittenden. So Al, do you want to provide an update? And introduce who you are?
I am Al Rodriguez, not Katie Elmore, as there it says. I'm using the city's account, and Katie holds the City of La Habra's account for Zoom. Anyway, I work with the City of La Habra, and we have a youth program that connects at-risk students to jobs. So the big thing right now, I know jobs are very important at this moment, and so we're gearing up to place students as soon as the restrictions start easing. We've managed to place about 3 to 4 students right now. They're in grocery stores restocking, but we do have more jobs available, and they'll increase as, like I said, restrictions start increasing. So if anyone is in need of a job, you can send them my way, and we can start working with them and seeing that there is some eligibility requirements. They need to be low income and have a barrier to employment. And I can work with students individually and connecting them to our eligibility, or I can do an orientation, we can send staff out, whatever people are comfortable with, but we do have jobs available. That's the important thing.
Okay. So how has the recent pandemic with COVID impacted your work in regards to how do you serve the youth?
You know, we were talking about how taking the positive of every situation. We've been electronically connecting with students, and we find that we're actually connecting with them more frequently because we're doing Zoom calls or Google Hangouts or Google Meet, and students are responding to meeting us online rather than coming in. So it actually, there's been some positives about it in expanding the way we connect with youth.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing. We'll come back to how we can work together and with some future things and how to connect with that.
Yeah,
Thanks, Al. Bev, do you want to just do a introduction of yourself and how you've been impacted with the work?
Sure. So Bev Berryman, and I'm the Community Engagement Director for Crittenton Services. We serve many counties and do different things, in-home services, school-based services. In addition to that, we have group homes here in Fullerton that people know about. For us, we've had a robust volunteer program that we've had to stop. So people are not coming in and volunteering there physically anymore during this shutdown. And as you can imagine, with teenagers and anywhere from ages 7 to 18, our kids are still enrolled in school, going to school, distance learning, many having roadblocks in that learning. So trying to keep them motivated to stay connected with learning and going to school has been a challenge, but we've been doing a great job. We're an essential business, so we're still open. Our staff are still working with our kids each day. And our volunteers and the community have been wonderful in reaching out to try and help us in other ways. For instance, we have a teen mom program at our facility. We have about 25 to 30 teen moms. And so we are still going forward with celebrating them at Mother's Day. And so we've had a lot of organizations that have helped us in bringing Mother's Day to our kids by being able to provide them with flowers and cards and dinner. And so we've had some great partners. We went through the Easter season with also partners reaching out and providing us things. We have enough funding from the federal government and state government to be able to give our kids the basics, but anything other than the basics has been hard for us. So we have been trying to keep them motivated. Thank goodness we had an outpouring of extra stuff at Christmas as well. People just kind of dropped some stuff off and did some drives. So we're really using that stuff right now to bring new games and, just things that are going to keep our kids occupied. So that's kind of where we are right now. Hopefully we'll be able to start up again as soon as the restrictions are lifted. And I probably have a couple people for some jobs for you. So I will be referring some people on. So thank you.
Great.
I can put my contact information here too, in case anyone wants to reach out and help us out as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. So I'm just looking at the time, and we still have some more time to just discuss. One of the questions I had about was what are some ways that we could help support each other through collaboration? And then the second one is, what is the biggest need right now at your organization, and how can the community support you, and where do they go to support you? So I want to go back to Leanna. Do you have any ways that you are seeing some collaborative wins within your organization or successes that you're seeing? I don't think we can hear you, so go ahead and unmute yourself when you get a moment.
I think just like I've been very transparent with the board and everything. I know I wasn't able to go to the last general meeting because of the classes. I think the last month and 6 weeks for us has just been like literally rebuilding our whole business model and trying to get it as quality as possible. And now I'm finally starting to feel like, okay, whew, yeah, we got through that, you know? And so for me, it's just more of a capacity of like how, like, I'm listening to Bev and she's trying to like think of new things. So I'm sitting here going like, oh, we talked last time, I need to offer them a live dance class, you know, like now it's more like, how can we serve, you know, like how we're serving our students is very specific with the teachers and what we're doing. So like, as the entity, CF feels good that way. I think it's more of like, how do we've been working on promoting all the businesses downtown in our like weekly newsletters, you know, seeing what deals they have for CF students for takeout and helping to support the businesses downtown. But right now, other than that, I need to know like what we can do, you know, like we've always been there for others, but how can we support, you know, these kids right now? We're talking about next gen, and I guess the biggest need I'm seeing is for some of these kids that have had milestones that have been taken away from them for our next gen kids, whether it's graduating from high school or graduating from an AA degree or a college degree. Mm-hmm. The teens and emerging adults, this is already such a confusing time for them, in my opinion. And to have any kind of that milestone that's going to help accelerate them into their next phase, whether it's a big high school graduation, so that'll pump them up. Let's go for college. Let's move on, you know. Mm-hmm. Are they not getting that, you know, and is that going to affect them for their excitement for their next goals? You know, those are the kinds of things I'm seeing that I'm worried about, just kind of like a feeling of what's the point.
Mm. Yeah.
And so if we're talking specifically for like CF needs, I'm fine. I'm worried about these kids. I'm worried if this is a next gen meeting, I'm worried about our next gen kids and how they're going. All of us, you know, I've been through hard times. I know there's going to be another good time ahead. I've been through the roller coaster of life, you know, but my young adults are struggling with this. My children, you know, like, mm-hmm. Is this really what life is about? You know, and how can we show them that, no, this is life, you know, and this will make you stronger, you know. Like, I think about our kids that we were doing the job exploration series that just ended for them. You know, here was something that was they were committed to coming to every week, and they were going to have this big job fair. You know, do we need to go back to, you know, do we need to start developing strategies to like go back to those kids and other kids we have touched to say like, this was on pause, but we're still here for you. You know, that's kind of where my brain's going. So.
Absolutely. And I see that, I believe, Kevin, are you able to just give us an update about what you're seeing? Because as you were talking, Leanna, I was just seeing concerns about in the city of, are we seeing that need individually, and how can then we reach out to them as well? And I know that, Kevin, you have some great things that you're doing in collaboration with Hoya. So if you could, I don't know if you're there, if you could unmute yourself. I know she's there.
Dr. Chen just joined us too.
Absolutely. Excellent. See if Kevin, are you there? Or maybe it's Sean.
I don't see any volume connected for him yet, so he might not.
Okay, he might be in the process. Okay. Yeah. Dr. Chen, do you want to do an update from your standpoint, or are you?
I just love seeing everyone. It's such a historical time. Speechless, of course. Everyone, you know, suffers, but just seeing people bring comfort and knowing the community is working together. I think that's the best part. And I just kind of want to listen and see that how everyone is doing and what I can do to help out.
Absolutely.
Great seeing everyone.
Excellent. Are you, is your organization currently closed right now? Or are you, how has this been impacting your work?
Everything we're turning to remote.
Okay.
So school door is still closed. Teachers are welcome to work at school or at home. At school, they are by themselves in the classroom with material that they can give lessons. Lots of lessons turn digital, but because we're Montessori school, there are lots of hands-on material as well too. So the teachers are busier than before. Just the lesson preparations, making materials, sending materials home, creating digital materials to share. And it's very taxing to be on the camera all day and then communicating with the parents. Our events are still all going on, from parent-teacher conferences, our children's night, our science fair, our recitals. It's just, everything is remote, but everything is still happening. And so definitely a lot more work, but I feel it's better to be busy working than stay at home trying to see what I can do to help, right? Because I think routine is still the best for young children. And hopefully by engaging the students will give parents some breathing room as well too, as their super moms have to do everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Dr. Chen. I appreciate you joining us today.
Oh, thank you.
All right. I still don't see Solidarity yet. So, Bev, do you have any insight? There's Kevin. Hi.
Hi, sorry, I just had a phone call about the PPP that came through right when I was supposed to jump on with this. So
that's okay.
Here. So what was I totally missed what you.
I just we're talking about some of the current needs in the city, and Leanna was sharing about just wanting to know that we're tapping into the need in our city with regards to our next gen. And some of the youth that we were working with all abruptly, ending the series. So my question will be to you is, what are you currently seeing with Solidarity, and maybe highlight some of the collaborative work that you're doing with Hoya.
Yeah, sure. So our biggest need, of course, we switched from being a more of like an empowering and an equipping type of ministry into some relief work during this season because of the great need that's been going on in our community. Most of our families are families who have all either lost jobs or on very minimum hours right now because they all work in industries that were closed. So we've been doing a lot of food distribution type of thing. And that's when I talked to Hoya and said, is there any way that we can do this together? Because I think we could actually impact the neighborhoods way better, both of us together. And so me and Christian came together and tried to figure out what we could pull from all of our networks as far as supplies and food. Started passing that out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we were only able to hit like a dozen or multiple dozens of families a week. And then Christian had a partnership with the Vineyard at Anaheim, and they brought in this massive food truck. So now we're doing bigger distributions, both in the Maple neighborhood and the Garnet community, where we're hitting about 210 families a week, able to get food into their hands. Okay. So that's been the good thing from that side. The other big thing for our neighborhoods is that it's, we think up to 90%, we're trying to get the actual number on this, have at least one person who's undocumented in their family, which means they're not receiving any of the federal relief. And then even Gavin Newsom's $125 million is not enough for Orange County. That trickles down to about 15,000 people who are going to receive $500. And we have over 250,000 undocumented citizens in Orange County alone, let alone Fullerton. We might have 15,000 there. So not all going to be able to get that funding. So we started up a neighbor relief fund, which people are donating their stimulus checks if they don't need it to 100% of that will go to the community, people who know that. So we're setting up an application process right now and getting all that money out there. So biggest needs have been financial right now. The other huge thing, I think I heard Leanna talking about this a little bit, but there's a lot of anxiety and depression in the home, especially in our youth right now, mostly because they're missing out on their friends and whatever prom, graduation, those type of things. It's led to kind of some dark places for some of the students and kids. So trying to create connection has been more difficult for us. We haven't been able to gather people on Zoom or FaceTime or stuff like that as much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with regards to the financial, and also you're doing the food delivery, how can we help support? And if you can get a moment, put that information in the chat, and I'll put it on the Facebook as well, about how people can support that fund. But how do you see that ability to connect to that mental health component with the
We're working it from the moms in the neighborhoods. So we're trying to do it from the top down. By the moms are really receptive to trainings, and we have an anxiety and depression training, how to handle it in the home, that runs every Thursday right now, and we probably get a dozen moms that go on that. So we're hoping that'll kind of trickle down and give some tools and skills to the moms to be able to engage their own children in those areas. But it's more of like an openness for the kids to want something like that, and right now it hasn't seemed to hit that pushing point yet.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. So I'm going to actually jump over back to Al. I want to provide you, and I don't know if Kevin, you've met Al from the Orange County Youth Center yet. He works in La Habra, and he's also working with the youth in Fullerton. Are you seeing that as well, Al? That mental health component along with the needs financially within your work?
Definitely. We've had, we have a school here on site, a high school diploma completion program. And so we've had at least one student contact us and said he just can't be at home anymore. He can't work at home. It's not working out for him. So we're allowing him to come in. We closed off an office for him to work at. And so at least he has some contact. We're on a split schedule here. So there's some staff are telecommuting while other staff is working in the office. I just got a notice that my connection's unstable. Can everyone hear me?
We can hear you. It's a little bit breaking up, but you're fine.
With my connection?
You're good.
Okay. So there is somebody here at all times in our office. So we are allowing students who are experiencing some sort of anxiety or issue working at home. We are allowing them to come in and work, of course, observing all the precautions that have been listed by the CDC. We also have a couple of partners. One is Okapaka and the other is the Vista Community Clinic that are providing free mental health counseling, behavioral health counseling for our students. So we've been utilizing them, and they've been doing counseling over the phone and through Zoom as needed. But there is a greater need right now.
Okay. So do you, I know that we have the contact information posted in our chat in regards to the community at large. Where can they go and how do we connect? If somebody's watching, a parent that has a youth that wants to get a job or learn about that, where can they go for that information now?
They can contact our office. I can give out our phone number. The area code is 562-383-4227. I'll write it down here. Okay. And they can contact us. We will start everything on video, of course, all our initial consultation. Can everyone see that?
Yay, yes. We're going high tech here.
Yeah, so they can contact our office, and then we'll start the process. We'll obviously do some video meetings at first, and then when they're ready to work, then we'll have them come in person. And of course, everyone must wear a mask, and we have an office that's been isolated to meet with students. and it's sanitized regularly. So.
Excellent, excellent. And once again, these are for jobs that, for working with youth, both in Fullerton and La Habra. And any other cities in North Orange County, or is it?
La Habra, Brea, Fullerton, Yorba Linda, Placentia, the surrounding North Orange County cities.
Excellent. And it's for youth and young adults between the ages of 16 through 24.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Debbie,
Yes.
did any of you happen to listen to, I didn't get to listen to the whole thing, I still have to finish it, but Jennifer's, the mayor's, on Tuesday morning for businesses. Al, did you get a chance to listen to that? It was very interesting. It was geared towards people, for small business owners, but a big part of the discussion, which made me, I wanted to bring it up today with our workforce development piece that we've always had for Next Gen, that they're saying that they think that a lot of these, like the students you're working with, Al, are our Next Gen kids, like that are kids right out of high school, that they're going to be the next like workforce when this is over, because a lot of people have left their current jobs, you know, and are moved on to other things. So there's going to be a definite need for like small business with entry level work when everything opens, because there's a lot of people that are earning, you know, that are on unemployment or transitioned to other jobs and have just, the businesses are going to find themselves with no workers pretty much. There's going to be a lot of businesses. So when I was listening to that, I was thinking about that. So
excellent. Do you happen to know if that town hall is available?
It's on YouTube.
Okay. So
it's very interesting. It is geared towards businesses, but it does make you think of like, what can we jump in and help out with or be a resource for within this group of kids, or our clients that we're serving for our businesses in Fullerton that might have that gap, you know?
And now everything's going virtual. For somebody who does not have internet or a Chromebook or computer at home, the Orange County Workforce Development Board is allowing people to borrow a hotspot and a Chromebook through Google Fiber. So I can relay that information to you, Debbie, and then you can pass it out. But they can borrow for free a hotspot and a Chromebook. And I'll make sure I get that information to you. So if anyone needs it, they can go to the One Stop Center and borrow one for free.
Absolutely. Excellent. Yeah, and one of the things, you know, we were talking about, I believe, Melissa, I don't know if you're aware, I believe it's the Career Center is looking at doing a virtual job fair with the college. One of the questions that came up in the chat was the jobs that you're mentioning, were they only for Fullerton College or for college students in general? I don't know if that was geared towards Al. I don't know, Maritza, did we answer your question? I believe we did. But Melissa, do you want to go ahead and update us about, do you know anything about a virtual job fair or that you're thinking about doing, or?
So I haven't heard personally about what our Career Center is planning for a job fair. They are meeting with students virtually though, and helping them access our resources from the Career Center. So that includes jobs, looking for jobs, preparing them, helping them with their resumes, things like that.
Okay.
I'm not aware of a job fair coming up virtually.
Okay.
But if you've heard that, there might be a possibility, and maybe it's just in the works. The other thing I did want to mention though, because I heard it right now, somebody else said it, was about the Wi-Fi hotspots. So we are also beginning next week, I'm going to be providing Wi-Fi in some of our, in actually one of our parking lots. So any student who needs Wi-Fi access can basically go to the parking lot area and access Wi-Fi there.
Right. Perfect. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate that. So Bev, I'm going to come back to you, and I just wanted to just see if what you're seeing in your youth and ways for us to help support them as well in regards to maybe a direction, a point where we can point people to donate.
Okay. Well, I think for us, as I said before, trying to keep everyone not entertained, but occupied while we're not going off campuses at all in our group homes, has been a little bit of a challenge. I'm very proud of the fact that our staff and our kids have been doing a really great job in trying to make the best of it. So they really are doing great. But things, you know, we tried a little bit of virtual tutoring and some virtual volunteering as far as people coming in and showing them how to do craft projects and such, and having the kids kind of follow along. That's an option. I think that with Leanna having maybe some virtual dance kind of things for some of the kids that have been involved in that, that would be great to talk about. Donations, we can take used. If it's used, I can do like DVDs, as long as they're G, PG, or PG-13. We can take anybody that's got some extra craft supplies that's not using them anymore. Fabric, we have a sewing class that we're still involved with. Games, as long as they have all the pieces, and puzzles. Those kinds of things just kind of keep our kids a little bit, you know, keep them occupied after they're done with their virtual learning. So those are some of the things. We still, every once in a while, go on drive-through runs with our teens because, you know, everyone loves some French fries. So $5 gift cards to some of the fast food restaurants around are very helpful for us. We did have some masks, so if people are still looking to donate fabric face coverings, if that's the way the world is going, we probably could use some more of those for both our staff and our clients. And for Mother's Day, we are looking for some, you know, some beauty items, some smaller, not big items, but smaller items like makeup and, you know, again, teen moms love makeup and love, you know, masks and, you know, Bath and Body Works or the you know, the lotions and such. No colognes or anything that could possibly have, you know, things like alcohol in them. So those are things that we cannot take. So those are some things that they can help with right now. Like I said, the basics were covered. Our families outside of our group homes, we serve 5 counties and we do serve needy families. So, but I know that we've got a lot of food banks out there and we're sending our people to food banks, but grocery store gift cards are something that's in demand right now too for our families.
Absolutely.
So, because again, we, you know, we serve over 900 kids and the families that go along with them in not only transitional living, we've got some new transitional living apartments that we're starting here in Orange County now with youth, foster youth, ages 18 to 21. So small appliances for kitchens, things that we, you know, we bring in the big stuff, but it's all of those little things that people accumulate over the years. So as you're getting your new coffee maker, if you need to donate that still in good working condition, older coffee maker, I'd be willing to take stuff like that as well. So
okay.
Our needs are great. They're diverse because of those that we serve.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know that some of the youth participated maybe in some of the next gen job component. Are you seeing that still a need, and what would ideas around how do we serve that as at this time with regards to jobs maybe for them?
So I've already sent that information on to our campuses so that we can contact Al. But you know, we've been trying to encourage them to start out with some, you know, on-campus jobs where they can start to build a work ethic and understand. A few of our kids do have outside jobs that they're still going to. So we encourage that. We, you know, take them and drop them off. And but as you know, it just depends on the kids that we have. I do know that we have about 3 or 4 that are actively looking right now. Some, you know, is because they might have challenges in language barriers. So trying to make sure that people understand that, you know, they're great opportunity to work, but sometimes they have a language barrier.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Beth. I really appreciate that and your insight. So Kevin, before, I know that you had a time constraint, do you have anything else that you would like to share in regards to some collaborative ways that you're thinking about that we could possibly do with this group here?
I don't have anything else, but I do agree with what Leanna was saying. It does seem like we're primed to be able to help our students and young adults get jobs in this next breakthrough once it opens up again. And there's going to be a need for it, and there's going to be a need for people who are extremely flexible, which is all of our young adults. They have the time to be able to jump into do any kind of hourly work. So I think it would be good to just maybe, even if we're reaching out to our old students and having them brush up their resumes, or doing another round of interviews over Zoom, because that's totally different than it is doing it in person, and they need to learn some skills that way. That might be a way that we can pour into the kids. Just some ideas.
That's a good idea. Thank you. Excellent.
I did think of, I know it would be like way in the future, and I thought about doing, the reason I thought about it was just for our kids, but my sister and I were discussing when it's socially appropriate with, whatever the governor has planned out for us. But when we are able to, I do have the facility in possibly doing like a prom for all Fullerton High School students. And I think it would be pretty amazing to be able to try to do something like that. So, because I could house so many in our facility. So definitely CF wants to do something like that for the community, that could bring all of them together and like something makeup, like make it up. You know what I mean? Like make up for what they didn't get. Because at this point, I don't even know if the schools are going to be able to do that for them. I don't think so. I really don't. So we're already kind of like in that headspace of, and like I said, I think there's going to be like that social component need for them also, so I know it's something small, but it's something that's important to them. It's a milestone thing for them. So that could be something that maybe that we could partner with Next Gen for too, with a collaborative to do something like that.
That'd be wonderful. That'd be wonderful. Thank you so much, Leanne. Any last words before we get back to our daily routine of isolation and connection? I think we need to remember that, social distancing versus social isolation, and making sure that we are not isolated, and encourage that within our youth as well. So any other last minute words?
Just, well,
Yes.
I have two things. One thing is I totally agree with you, Debbie. I'm really appreciative for you to push this, to make us do this. Not make us, but you kind of like just took the bull by the horns to do it for the collaborative. And my girlfriends and I ended up getting on a chat last night. And I think we just are so overwhelmed and busy that we're not connecting. I know I'm guilty of not connecting the way I used to, and realizing that I need to we all need to start like connecting as we were before, and start getting that ball rolling again. So I appreciate that we were able to do this morning. And then is anybody taking food donations, Kevin?
We might be. It depends. We're running the Garnet one today, and so we'll see how long this line is. Right now we have a committed 60 bags of groceries that come in every single week, but we might need more depending on how big the need is. So I'll give you guys an update after this distribution today.
Okay.
I also know that Fullerton School District is taking donations at Pacific Drive every day.
And I believe
To
Maribel,
give out to our families. We've got about 200 or 300 families that have been getting resources.
Yes, if you have any food, St. Philip Benici, they usually distribute food on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. and Tuesdays, noon, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. And this Saturday, they have a very big food distribution. So if you could just text me, I'll give you or you can text Father Dennis. He's the one in charge coordinating this distribution. So we are expecting to have for about 500 to 1,000 families.
And those families they're not showing up. It's not like a line. They're pre-selected. Is that correct, from the nonprofits, the local nonprofits?
Yes, that's the thing that has been a little bit confusing, because the flyer that we got, like I said, I am not coordinating, but it asked for previous registration. So we might have a lot of people showing up, because since it has been on the Facebook, they are, probably we have a lot of walk-ins.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I did actually post it below on our Facebook, because they are taking donations from 10 to 11. So if anyone has not only food, but gift cards, and they also are taking like gently used books for the children, things like that, that can be delivered. And then my understanding is at 11, it'll be pre-selected that have applied for, and there's specific dedicated times that they show up. So it's not like a, hopefully not too crazy on Saturday. So thank you, Maribel. I appreciate that as well.
Thank you, Deborah.
Yeah, any other last minute thoughts before we end?
Yeah, Debbie, this is Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
I was just going to listen in. It's been interesting. I want to let those that were looking for jobs, the U.S. Census Bureau is asking for enumerators at $20 an hour. And because of the virus situation now, they're pushing it back, but they have to complete it by December 31st by law. So they are looking for people.
Okay. Is that, I believe is it 18 and older? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So our,
Oh,
go ahead.
Where would they go? Where would I send somebody to look for more information?
I don't have the contact information. They said it to me originally. I do the photography for the Observer, but unfortunately I've been socially isolated, so I haven't been able to do photographs. There's not a lot here to shoot.
In your own home?
Yeah, I work out of my office here. Basically, I've been developing a database for the collaborative for agencies active in a disaster for the state, or I'm sorry, for the county emergency operations center. So I am keeping busy, but I don't have the contact information, but it's U.S. Census, and I'm sure if you Google that, it would come up with the information. But they did say it was $20 an hour, and they are looking for enumerators.
Excellent. I think.
Thank you.
I don't know if Al, you probably have that contact information as well. Probably.
I do have some information that I can send to you.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We do have next week another, we'll do this weekly. Next week, it'll be on Thursday at 10 a.m. And we'll be including individuals that are working with the homeless and discussing some of that primary need we're seeing in the families. You are invited to come back. We also will be streaming it on our Facebook page, which we have had a couple of comments. So some support in your work and your efforts, and we really appreciate all that you're doing for us as well. We also will be connecting this with our collaborative website at fullertoncollaborative.org. You can join us there and see any archive if you are not connected on Facebook. With that, I really love seeing you, and I think one of the benefits of having it virtually is that we have a great turnout, and we are also able to really hopefully continue this discussion where we're looking at for our young people in our city and how we can best support them as well. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy your day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie.